Welcome to the Podnas with Phace, Pat, and Tiz.
Next topic I want to cover tonight is a personal theory of my own I've
Okay.
developed over the past couple years. It's called the SMEL theory, and it's not SMELL like
I
smell.
was
It's
thinking
S.
olfactory.
It's capital S, capital M, capital EL. That's it. It stands for, it's the acronym. It stands for self motivation, self elevation, self liberation.
Okay.
So it's like a process. The whole theory is like a process. It starts off with self, and in order to start with self, you have to, how can I say it? Identify the power of self and realize what you can do if you understand yourself. Most people would depend on their motivation to come from outside source and don't really tap into their inside source and get up off their ass and do it themselves. That's the first step in getting yourself motivated is getting up and actually getting to it. Too many times people got dreams and I wish I could do this. I wish I could do this. Take this podcast, prime example. It won't long for we said we wish we could do this before we got up off our ass and did it.
Yeah.
We were our own motivation. It didn't take nobody else to, hey, y'all three, come on, y'all three. No, we three got together with an idea. We three put it together. We got to pull our feet. This is the first step. This is self-motivation. You feel me? Self-motivation is actually putting the thought into the physical, getting it moving. You may not be at that end point yet, but you got to get started. That's a self-motivation. That leads to self-elevation. Self-elevation, that's your next level. That's getting yourself out of the current situation you're in. And if you take this podcast, for example, once you get to the monetization level on anything we're doing, that will be the next level because that would initially get us out of the phase that we're currently in. Understand? So self-elevation. Also with self-elevation, it takes account of, once again, back to personal self. Um, Mentally, emotionally, and physically taking yourself to the next level, elevating, getting yourself out of your personal comfort zones, um, tapping into other ideals or not other ideas, I could say maturing mentally. That would be your self elevation point. Now, self liberation, that's the end goal. You want to free yourself from the ties that bind you. Those ties that bind you will be socially, anything holding you to any constructs that you feel that you have to stay into or have to fit into, any boxes you feel like you may have been forced into. Self liberation is a total and utter admiration of self. You've motivated yourself to get out of the situation you're in, to free yourself from everything. Motivation, elevation, liberation. Smell theory.
I smell you. I smell you. I smell it with the rockets cooking. I guess I would just say I like what you're putting down there. You done definitely activated your guru chakras or whatever and went real Dalai Lama on us here. I did not expect that from when you first said that you wanted to talk about the smell theory. I had a whole nother train of thought going on that. So this kind of took me off guard. I would say though, you need to bottle this up and package it, and if you can put an actual process to how to do each one of those steps, you own to some here on the self-help game. Like that's what everybody does need, like to be motivated to elevate themselves out of whatever situation they're in, and then to liberate themselves to be their best self. So yeah, I smell it.
Exactly.
Smells good.
Exactly. Because you have to realize people always depend on, most time people look for motivation from others. Even in relationships, we look at, well, you didn't motivate me. You didn't motivate me. But how many times do we look at ourselves in the mirror and say, I didn't motivate myself. I didn't motivate me. So before we can look at somebody else and say, I need you to motivate me, we have to look at ourselves and like, I need you to motivate me. Self-motivate yourself. You feel me? Can't nobody else help you if you don't want to be helped. And that's the main thing. If you can't say that you want to do it and you willing to take that first step, nothing nobody else says to try to motivate you will. So there will be no elevation to no other levels. There will be no liberation because you don't aspire to be another other point but that. So when it comes to people who are destitute, people are homeless, I've been homeless. I'm not no more
Facts.
because I refuse to be in that situation. So in that instance, I was liberated. I went through the situation where I had to motivate myself to become better, elevate myself out of those situations, and liberated myself from that. So no, I'm no longer homeless. I'm doing a lot better than that, a lot better than I was doing. To the instance that sometimes when I do see those less fortunate, I do give, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna get at everybody because I ain't no stupid man. I ain't no sucker. He ain't gonna fool me twice. I've already been tricked once or twice. I just want to tell this story before I let y'all speak to. Once upon a time when we was living in Hampton, Pat, you was this at the Buddy House. Everybody remember the Buddy House. So living in Hampton, right off Mallory. Every day we get off work, right around. I say we get home right around 7 p.m. It's always this handicapped guy. He's in a wheelchair. He's an amputee and he got a dog with him. He's on the end of the he's on the end of the off ramp. He always got a sign.
I remember. Yeah.
For dog. Me tuna for dog. Me tuna for dog. I'm like, you know what? The VA right down the street. I get it. He probably ain't got benefits. Bet. Let me give him something. So I pulled up one day. I gave him $5. Went on by my business. Why did I come downstairs the next morning and realize this nigga lives downstairs in the same apartment I live in? Why am I giving you money? Fool me once, won't fool me twice.
Wow.
I remember you said that shit to me.
Yo, that reminds me of Don't Be a Menace when the dude was begging for money and then he takes off the joint and he got like a Benz. Like, yo, that's crazy.
Yo,
what?
Yo, and he won't live by himself. It was him, his wife, and his son. His son was retired military, so he had benefits. He just liked doing that shit.
Oh, damn.
In another mind state, in another reality, somebody else might have said something else. You know, but it was no need. Chalk it up to a loss. That's the way most adults should see it nowadays. It means just chalk it up to a loss. Ain't no need for me to take it to the next level because that next level would have led me into something I didn't want to be in. So I made the right decision at the time. Just like I chalk it as loss, life lesson, won't fool me again.
Yeah.
So,
it's just sad because somebody like that will make it bad for the other ones because it might be somebody that's really do need that help and now somebody passed them over because they scared to get burned again, that type of thing.
Exactly. That's why I do like a 2 to 3 ratio. Every 2 people I see, I skip 3 and then I give to 2. I skip 3 to get to 2. So I do like a 2 to 3 ratio. So I make sure if I'm getting food, they didn't get me every time, you know. So I try to help because somebody helped me out at one point in time. I remember one point in time. You feel me? I'm gonna get real with you. I'm gonna see if you remember this part, little bro. I remember when we were smoking cigarette butts. That were on our cigarette butts.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Remember we couldn't even afford a Lucy.
You feel me? Remember the struggle, bro? We couldn't even afford a Lucy.
Together to get a Lucy. Hell yeah.
But look at us now.
Hell yeah.
So,
can't do that shit in COVID.
No, that's big. That's big though.
Can't do that shit with COVID, B.
No, hell no, nigga. That'd be your last cigarette. You die. For real. Fuck lung cancer. Your ass died. That did. That did getting people, boy. It's undefeated right now.
Oh yeah, man.
I like that though. Smell theory.
Oh
yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's the self-motivation thing is real because 2 years ago I started drawing that book or whatever, and it's just a simple motivation of saying, you know what, I'm going to do a page after I get off work. Like as soon as I get off work while I'm hyped up, I'm going to do a page. And it is done. Now I'm just going through the coloring process and everything, try to do everything right so I can have it right, pretty much. But
you heard it first here. You heard it first here, people. Smell theory. So if you hear anybody else say anything else about smell theory, you know they stole it from Phace.
Right on.
We're getting published. This is published.
Use that shit, like when you see somebody not like doing what they should be doing with their life or like not living up to their full potential, be like, man, hey, yo, go smell yourself real quick.
Because you stink.
Go smell yourself.
You smell toxic. Smell real toxic over there.
I like it. I think that's dope.
What's going on, y'all? This is Phace, 1/3 of Podnas. Make sure y'all come to YouTube every Wednesday and check out our new episode of the Podnas podcast. Also, check us out online for our new apparel dropping every week. That'll be at teespring.com/stores/Podnas-closet-1. Once again, that's teespring.com/stores/Podnas, PODNAS-closet, CLOSET-1. We get at you.
Just updated on the store, we have mugs, hoodies, shirts, bags, kids' clothes, and face masks. Show you are down with the Pod Squad. Rep the Podnas by going to teespring.com/stores/Podnas-closet-1 to get all of our newest merch. And as always, follow our entire movement at thepodnas.com.
Welcome to the Podnas with Phace, Pat, and Tiz.